One of the most important things in order to have a successful relationship is that you have to control her self-esteem. Now, this seems, on the one hand, it's like, how do you do this? And what it is, you have to be the source of her well-being, of how she feels about herself. You have to be the one, and it's exceedingly easy to do this. Let me explain. You see, women are all about what other people think of them. All right? This is a key issue about women. Men aren't like that. Men can, from objective criteria, get a sense of their self-worth. But women require other people to tell them their value. All right? Now, you're in a relationship with a woman. You want to be the source of how she feels about herself. That's what I mean when I say you have to control your woman's self-esteem. Now, how do you do this is very simply, it's basically two phases. On the one hand, you have to eliminate the competition insofar as giving your woman self-esteem. And on the other, you have to be the fount of it. You see, it's a two-step process. Suppose, for the sake of argument, that your woman has an Instagram account and she posts a lot of stuff on Instagram. Suppose she's very attractive, and because of that, she gets a lot of approval, a lot of likes, and so on and so forth. She is getting her self-esteem from Instagram. Now, of course, you can replace this with other people, her circle of friends, her mother, whomever, it doesn't matter. But just for the sake of this example, she is getting her validation, her sense of self-worth from her followers on Instagram. Suppose she has a couple of thousand. Again, for the sake of argument. She posts a picture of herself in a bikini, say, and she gets like a bunch of likes. I don't know, 500 likes. Again, hypothetical. So those 500 likes are giving her a sense of self-worth. And so your mission is to eliminate that competition in her perpetual and relentless search for validation. And how do you eliminate it? By putting it down. Yeah. Instagram, for instance, it's very easy to put it down by saying, for example, that all the people giving her likes are these thirsty betas who are incel virgins and living in their mother's basement or whatnot. They're low status guys. That's what you have to tell her. You have to undermine the value of the validation she is getting from that exterior source. In the hypothetical that we're discussing here, see, she's getting her validation from Instagram. And so what do you have to do? You have to say, oh, well, all those guys on Instagram, they're losers. They live in their mother's basement. They probably haven't been laid since forever or never have been laid, and you're getting your self-esteem. You're getting like, you're feeling good about yourself from the opinion of these losers? How can you feel good about yourself by listening to these losers? You see what's going on? You see? It's very simple. You are undercutting the value of the thing giving her validation. That's the first process. You have to undermine the value, the validity, you have to undermine it. Whatever that is, that exterior thing. And again, it could be Instagram. It could be her circle of friends. It could be her parents. It could be whomever. It doesn't matter. You have to undercut it. Put that thing down. Show to her how lacking in value that thing giving her validation really is. You see? I mean, if she's getting validation from Instagram, you point out how it's just a bunch of beta losers. If she's getting validation from a circle of friends, you have to say, well, those girls, man, they're all hookers, they're whores, they're just low, skanky women that no self-respecting guy would want to hang out with. You see? It doesn't matter if the friends she's got are fucking nuns, for crying out loud. That's not the point. The point is you've got to undercut that exterior source of validation. That's the first step. Then the second step, of course, is to position yourself as the only fount of her self-validation, of her self-esteem, of her self-respect. And how do you do that? You get her to ask you what you think about whatever she's doing. And even when she doesn't ask you, this is the key move. See, you're dating this girl, right? And you like her, and she's great and whatnot. And so what you do is that you start giving your opinion about things that she is doing, both positive and negative, okay? And be honest. This is the one time where it pays you to be honest. She's doing something that you think is aces, you tell her. You tell her and you make her feel good about herself, especially those things that nobody else is noticing that she's doing. Okay? I mean, if you have a hard time finding such a thing, just make it up. Okay? Something trivial, it doesn't matter. Say to her, for instance, that you really like the fact that she treats waiters nicely. That's something that few people notice. And if you tell her that, you know what she's going to feel? She's going to feel, number one, that you pay attention to her, that you are noticing her, that you are noticing the little things that she does on a daily basis. But much more importantly, you are beginning to get her accustomed to you saying good things about what she does. And this is like a drug to women. You compliment them, especially on those things that are not obvious. For instance, you compliment her on how she treats a waiter, but you don't compliment her on how she looks. No, you don't. You never compliment her on how she looks, assuming, of course, she's a good-looking woman, right? No, because everybody is complimenting her on her good looks. No. You don't compliment her on the things that everybody is complimenting her on. You compliment her on the things that nobody is noticing, but which she values. Yeah, if she has a certain value system, and we all do, of course, she is going to prioritize certain things. And if you noticed something that she does on a consistent basis that nobody else does, but is congruent with her value system, and you praise it, she is going to feel very good. If she is, for instance, a good Christian girl who tries to treat everybody the same, and you compliment her on the fact that she treats all waiters and waitresses very nicely, she's going to glow because it's something that very few people notice. You see? Now here comes the issue of what not to praise, what to criticize in her, what to grind her down about. And this is key. Yeah, because just as you praise her, you got to grind her down. You got to grind her down on the things that are justifiably wrong that she's doing, whatsoever it is. Everybody has flaws. Everybody has defects. We all act in ways that are not the best versions of ourselves, shall we say. Now, insofar as a woman is concerned, you find what it is that she does that is just not congruent with her sense of self. And you needle that thing. Whatever it is, you needle that. You just tap on it. Yeah. You got to tap on it and criticize it relentlessly. She's got to feel insecure about it. But here's the tricky thing. Here's the art of it, the fine-tuning of it. You got to be relentless on it, but in a way that she doesn't realize you're being relentless about it. Yeah, because if she realizes, that you're going to be like a stick in the mud about some particular defect that she might have, justifiably or not, she's not going to want to be around you, of course. Simple as that. Who wants to be around somebody who's needling you about something that you know is a defect? Nobody, right? You got to be very careful how you do this. You got to do it in a way that, it's always there. You've always got it. You've always got this little shiv that you can stick into her, right? Just right between the ribs, psychologically speaking, of course. Now, you have to have that at the ready. But at the same time, how can I put it? It's hard to explain because on the one hand, you have to be relentless. But on the other hand, you can't do it every single time. I know it's contradictory, but that's the art of it. What can I say? It's an art form of grinding on that thing, that insecurity that she has, that insecurity, that flaw, that fault that she has, that she cannot repair for whatever reason, of course. Okay. It's not something that she's born with. I mean, just for the sake of argument, suppose she's born with like a birth defect on her cheek or something crazy like that. You can't do that. No. It has to be an action that she is committing, that she consistently commits. It cannot be something that she is born with, a defect. If you do that, you're just simply cruel, and she'll dump you very soon because, of course, nobody wants to be around a cruel guy, okay? I mean, a deliberately cruel guy who's criticizing something that the woman cannot control. No. I'm talking about those things that she can control. You gotta be there, you gotta be almost like nipping at her heels, but in a way that she doesn't realize that you are nipping at her heels. You see what I mean? Okay, so you've got the two things. You've got the positive and the negative. And also you've eliminated the competition. See? That's the key. You eliminate the competition, the exterior source of validation. so that you become the only one. You're the only one who can give praise, and she's aware that you are constantly, or not constantly, but you are ready to criticize her when she behaves poorly. If you have those two elements, the criticism that's at the ready, but at the same time praise, especially surprising praise, praise that she is not expecting, not in a million years, that you suddenly just pop and just give her this glow, this pop, this adrenaline rush of self-esteem and self-worth. If you do it that way, that careful balancing act, soon she will turn to you, which is what you want. She will turn to you with every decision that she makes. And that is the ultimate goal. It'll start small. It'll start small with things like, should I wear this dress or that dress? Should I wear this bikini or that bikini? And little by little, you make it so that your opinion about whatever decision she's making is essential for her. And that if you don't have an opinion, then she's doing something wrong. She has to be searching for your opinion. And it's not that you always agree with her. No. See? Sometimes it could be that you're going to go through a stretch of like constantly agreeing with her decisions. She says, should I wear this dress? Yes, you say. Should I wear this bikini? Yes. But at some point, after like 3 or 4 of these times where you say yes, you have to say, no, this is wrong. Don't do it. Even if you think that it's perfectly fine, okay? It's just to mark territory. You see what I mean? So that she knows that you give approval, but also you give disapproval. That's what you want. That's what you want to inculcate in her. The notion that approval, social approval, approval that will raise her self-esteem comes only from you. Yeah, if you have it so that she becomes used to this fact that you are the fount of approval, and you are the fount, of course, of disapproval, that you matter more than anybody else, then very quickly she's going to ignore everybody else. And that, of course, is the point. Her self-esteem is going to depend on you. And you want to be jealous about this power that you have. Yes, of course. Because see, if you are the fount of praise, if you are the source of disapproval, the only source of praise, the only source of disapproval, then you are going to be the center of her universe. But if somebody else or some other thing starts, getting into your territory, as it were, starts giving her praise or giving her disapproval, then you gotta nip that at the bud. Oh yeah. And weirdly, a lot of times it's not going to be some other guy, it's going to be her girlfriends. Oh yeah. There is a certain kind of girlfriend. I'm not talking about your romantic partner, but rather the friend of your girlfriend who happens to be a woman, right? There is a certain kind of girlfriend who will try to break a woman away from her man. She will sidle up to your girlfriend, say her name is Jane, and this random girl is Mary. She might have a boyfriend, she might not, it doesn't matter. Mary becomes friends with your girlfriend Jane, and Jane views you as the center of her universe. You are the source of all praise, and you are the source of all disapproval. To her, to Jane, to your girlfriend, you're it. You're the center of her world, right? But Mary comes in, and she senses this, and she tries to stick her nose between you two. And a lot of times she's going to succeed. I mean, I've seen this countless times of girlfriends of your girlfriend who sort of like gets in the way and sort of like breaks apart a perfectly fine relationship. Yeah, and she starts to do exactly what I've described in this video. She starts to do exactly that thing to Jane. She becomes the source of approval. She becomes the source of disapproval, praise, and opprobrium. She becomes the person breaking her away from you. You got to nip that shit in the bud. I'm telling you, because this happens all the time. Yeah, and you know how it works? It works usually as not like Mary, this outside woman, right, who comes in and sort of like screws with your shit, with your relationship with Jane. Usually Mary is not as hot as Jane. Yeah, for the most part. Usually it's some girl who's sort of like middling to bad looking, Sometimes she's fat, sometimes she's whatever. And she ultimately what's going on is that she envies Jane, your girlfriend, your hot girlfriend, right? And in a way wants to tear her away from you so that Mary becomes the center of Jane's universe. You see what I'm saying? In a weird way, Mary, it's not that Mary is like a lesbian or some shit like that. No, I'm not saying that. It's like a psychological thing. She envies Jane, and she sees that Jane views you as the center of her universe. And so she wants that for herself. Mary wants to be the sun around which Jane, your hot girlfriend, revolves. Okay? She wants that. And that's why she does this. And I have seen this countless times. This isn't like something like once in a while. No. This happens all the time. All the time. And I got to tell you right now, man, these girls, a lot of guys think that it's no big deal, that they can handle it, but they are wrong. Yeah, a lot of times what happens is that guys see Mary as, oh, just Jane's girlfriend, you know, it's no big deal. They're just friends, they go shopping together and shit like that. And Mary undercuts you. Yeah, because of course she's doing to you what you did to that outside influence, Instagram, her circle of friends or whatever, like I discussed before, right? She's doing to you the exact same thing that you did to the other source of self-esteem that Jane had, right? Mary comes in and they go shopping together, they talk, they have coffees and latte and wine, and at the end of these conversations, you know, Jane is going to start viewing you as a bastard. Yeah. She's going to start viewing you as some bad influence in her life. She's going to start thinking that she can do better than you. She's going to start thinking that maybe she should break up with you. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It happens countless times. And guys who are caught by this situation, by this dynamic, they don't realize it until it's too late. Yeah, so don't let it happen to you. Be smart. Be smart. You see a Mary, like in the situation that I've described, you see a girl like Mary show up in Jane's life, you cut her out. You cut her out. And you tell Jane, look, if it's going to be like a thing that I don't want you hanging around with Mary because I think she's a skank or a slut or whatever, and just make something up if case comes to worse. You just say, I don't like her for X, Y, Z reasons and I don't want you to see her anymore. And if Jane insists and say, okay, then we break up. Just drop the nuclear weapon. Yeah. Say, we're breaking up. If you keep on being friends with Mary, whom I think is a slut or a this or that or the other, or just, I think she's a gossip girl who's just going to undercut our relationship, you can flat out tell her. You tell her that you think that Mary is a bad influence on Jane. And you tell Jane, your girlfriend, you tell her, look, if you continue being friends with Mary, you and I are done. Simple as that. If you do it early enough, you'll win. You do it too late, she'll walk. Yeah, so don't screw around with this shit, okay? I mean, understand what's going on, the dynamics, okay? Remember, women, your girlfriend, your woman, she's a child. She's a child, okay? They all are. They all are in every culture, in every age. It doesn't matter what race, you know, what country, what epoch. You know, this has been the same for hundreds, thousands of years, since the dawn of the species, for crying out loud. Women are like that. They are children. They respond to whoever makes them feel good. Whoever makes them feel good, and also to whomever makes them feel bad at key moments. See? You got to be that guy. You got to be that guy, and you've got to control her sense of self-esteem. You control her sense of self-esteem, that woman will never leave you. That woman will be your ride or die bitch. That woman will crawl across glass for you if you do this. But if you don't, or you allow somebody to supplant you, she's going to walk away. See, like I always tell you guys, you know, I know this stuff, not because I'm very smart. I'm not. I mean, people who know me know that I'm kind of stupid. I know this shit, not because I'm smart, but because I've been around longer.